Hi, buddy. Welcome back to Ox Talks. It is Sunday. It is March the 3rd, 2024. Hope all of you are having a nice weekend. I hope that you are using, obviously, time to spend with family and loved ones, but also using the time that you're not at your 9-to-5 job to consider where you're at with your preparations, not only your financial preparations, but your food storage, your water storage, your security. You're contemplating, what you will do, not what you would do, what you will do when we have a substantial grid down scenario in this country, or a situation where you need to rely on some backup plans. Because I think it's just a matter of time before something like that takes place. Whether it is economic triggered, whether it's weather triggered in your area, whether it is from any other source, outside threat, inside threat. We need to be taking this stuff seriously more than ever. I've talked about the calm before the storm, and it seems to me it's here. The weekend seemed relatively quiet. I didn't get a chance to do a video yesterday. Time got away from me. I was spending the entire day, like I talk about, working on my preparedness plan, the economic plan, and also the everything else we talk about on this channel and you read and see. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the comments. Hit the thumbs up button and the bell notification as well. Appreciate the community we're building here, and I'm going to keep coming out here, hitting record as many times a week as I can, so we can continue to wake people up. A couple of interesting articles, important articles I want to share with you today. Busy week at the office coming up. I'm in a mediation/settlement conference with a judge all day tomorrow on Zoom. I should be able to get that finished in time to do a video. Like I said last week, a lot of new stuff coming in the door at my office, so it stretches my time, but it's important to me that I come out here, try to do it every day, and keep all of you informed as to what is happening with this economy. Let's start with an article that came out, I saw today, out of The Hedge, and it says new car inventory has exploded higher. It says new car prices have been trending lower for about a year due to increased vehicle production and elevated interest rates that have crimped demand. As a result, inventories are swelling at dealerships nationwide, with expectations for new and used vehicle prices to continue sliding into the spring season. This is a recent Kelley Blue Book report shows new car prices in January were down 3.5% compared with the same month 1 year ago. The average new car sold was $47,401. $47,000 for the average new car. What's the interest rate if you're financing that vehicle? 7, 8, 9, 10%. If your credit's terrible, it's a lot higher than that. You've heard all these nightmare stories about people paying $2,500 a month for a very basic vehicle. It is a scary market. Guys, don't get taken advantage of. Do your homework. If you're not financially savvy and you're going to be buying a new or used car, enlist someone to help you out with that process. Don't just wander onto a dealership lot. These dealers are desperate to sell cars. I was at an event yesterday at the local Porsche dealership, and interestingly enough, it's a Cars and Coffee. Every few weeks they host this, and I have some friends and clients down there, so I usually show up and hang out, have a cup of coffee, and for an hour or so. And I've never seen this before. Usually they line up all the older cars and all the fancy Porsches up front. This time they reserved the entire front area in front of the dealership for the electric vehicle cars, the Porsche Taycans and things of that nature. The ones that they cannot move and the ones that are dropping drastically in price. I've been seeing articles lately about these cars losing $100,000 off sticker value. So again, it is a continued pump to try to move this inventory. We've talked about the EV stuff on this channel before. It is dying a slow death, and it's no different in the higher end market. If anything, it's probably even more strapped. But I thought that was interesting that they lined up all their inventory up front as if someone's going to pull up and say, oh, we need to go buy this $190,000 electric sports car. So I thought that was interesting. I want to share with you. Continuing with this article, it says prices have been trending downward for roughly 6 months now as automakers are sweetening deals to keep the sales flowing. As Aaron Keating, executive analyst for Cox Automotive, said in this report. The downward pressure, it says, is mainly because new vehicle inventory has surged. As of January 9th, it stood at 2.66 million units. Listen to this, a 49% jump in the last year, according to Cox data. Think about that, 49% jump in inventory. This is in a post on X. Car dealership guy wrote the new car inventory in February is rising fast. February started with 80 days of new vehicle supply, the highest level since June of 2020. What was happening in June 2020? Were people out buying vehicles? No, they were locked in their homes. So we have to go back to June 2020, the beginning of the pandemic, to a time when this much vehicle inventory, new inventory, was sitting on the car lots. This is expect the deals to sweeten up for most brands. Again, even if the deals sweeten up, if you're not walking into the dealership and writing a check, paying cash, doing a wire transfer for that vehicle, you're going to be getting tagged at 8-9%. Again, much higher than that if your credit is shot. It says online auto buy-sell platform CarEdge's Zach Shefska noted on X, quote, for reference, new car inventory is up 195% over the past 30 months. So again, this is a bellwether of what's happening with the consumer because people simply aren't buying. Some of them are not buying because the rates are too high and probably going to remain high for the foreseeable future. And some aren't buying because they just can't. They're broke, they're tapped out, their credit's in the tank, they have too much debt on their balance sheet, and they can't buy a vehicle. It says this is a great news for prospective car buyers, but terrible news for the millions of folks who bought cars during the pandemic mania and are underwater on their auto loans. And I'm sure there are a lot of those out there. Just as to translate this into the housing market, there are going to be millions of people that are flooding into the housing market now, paying at high prices, financing at 8% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. And as these prices start to come down and the inventory comes back on the market, people are going to lose their shorts. So it's not just the vehicle market. This transcends different asset classes. And so be careful. If you're buying a vehicle, be careful. Take this to heart. Obviously, if you have cash and you're looking for new vehicles, you may be able to start striking some deals. But again, it's the ones that have dry powder. It's the ones that have some, let's say, backup, that they have the ability to go in and pay cash. It is an extreme bargaining tool for the buyer when you have that kind of leverage. You don't need to rely on a bank. You don't need to rely on the dealer incentives to get you in the door. You walk in, you negotiate, you tell them, hey, this is what I want to pay. I'm writing you a check for this vehicle. So for those of you that are in that position, kudos to you. You've made some good decisions. The ones that aren't, and the ones that are upside down in your loans, let it be a lesson to you. It's probably going to get worse. The value in these vehicles is probably going to keep dropping. Next article I want to share with you, I touched on this. I did a story on this, I think about a week or two ago, about the ransomware attack that was affecting the prescription processing companies. And how, what were you going to do if you rely on medications, either daily medications or, life-saving medications, if you could not get them? As part of your preparedness plan, I talk about that, having medical supplies, having backup prescription medications in your possession that you have filled, not prescriptions sitting in your drawer unfilled, that you have filled and that you have as a backup. We always say, you know, 2 is 1, 3 is 2. It goes for everything, including medicines that you might rely on to basically continue living. Crucial heart medications, diabetes medications, things of that nature. I think you need to keep this in mind. Here's the article. This is out of Ars Technica. Never heard of it, but it was up on my feed today, and I wanted to share it with you. It says, U.S. prescription market hamstrung for 9 days following ransomware attack. 9 days after a Russian-speaking ransomware syndicate took down the biggest U.S. healthcare payment processor, pharmacies, healthcare providers, and patients were still scrambling to fill prescriptions for medicines, many of which are life-saving. On Thursday, United Health Group accused a notorious ransomware gang known both as ALF-V or ALF-5 and Black Cat of hacking its subsidiary Optum. Optum provides a national network called Change Healthcare. It says, which allows healthcare providers to manage customer payments and insurance claims. With no easy way for pharmacies to calculate what costs were being covered by insurance companies, many had to turn to alternative services or offline methods. It says Optum first disclosed on, listen to this, February 21st that the services were down as a result of a cybersecurity issue. Its service has been hamstrung, it says, ever since. Quote, working with technology and business partners, we have successfully completed testing with vendors and multiple retail pharmacy partners for the impacted transaction types. An update says, as a result, we have enabled this service for all customers effective 1 p.m. Friday, March 1st. So that is basically 9 days where these services were impacted because of this cyber attack. And many people were unable to get their prescriptions. So heed this warning, folks. If you need to have prescriptions, get them ahead of time. Fill them ahead of time. Have some backups. And look, at 9 days is not that much time. Well, if there's a situation where everything is down for 19 days or 29 days or 39 days, look, you know, I don't know if, I think I've shared this before. I think it's 1 second after in that book. The man's daughter died because she was diabetic and she could not get a refill on her diabetes medications. It was a sad backstory of the overall, book, but it drove the point home for me that these are the kind of things you need to be thinking about. You can't get this stuff 1 second after, okay? You can't get fire insurance for your house a second after your house burns down. Start giving this stuff thought. Many people in this country don't think more than a minute ahead, or the next gratification issue, or what's playing at the movie theater, or what is the next concert, or what is the next sporting event. Think about this stuff ahead of time, and once you have it in place, you can rest easier. Then you can go and focus on some other things. But medications, big time importance. Says the cyber attack against Change Healthcare that began on February 21st is the most serious incident of its kind leveled against a U.S. healthcare organization, said Rick Pollock, president and CEO of the American Hospital Association. So, look, these attacks are stepping up in their severity, in their number. And this is not just the healthcare system. Many types of services and systems can be impacted and can go down. I did a 1-hour workout this morning, did my Sunday full body. Was very, very busy today. I've been getting in, 18,000 steps every day this weekend and being very active. I hope all of you are doing the same thing, doing some cardio, getting your steps in, using the time, maybe you have off work or some extra time this weekend, do some strength training. Hope you have not sat on the couch and ate a bag of potato chips, but hopefully watched your diet and are making smart choices with the calorie intake. We need to be really prudent with the workout plan, guys, and really prudent with the diet so we can get this country healthier. We're lazy, we're out of shape, we need to step up our game. So we're at about 15 minutes. I'll leave it there. Sunday evening, it's a bit later than normal. I will be in the office tomorrow, hopefully finish my settlement conference early enough to get a video up. Have a great evening. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.